Hello, hi. I'm Stephanie, and welcome to the first episode of Melanin Musings. This week I'm joined by my lovely sister Rebecca, aka R.A.Elle. So let's get started. Hi, Becca.
Hello, sister.
Hello. Okay, so biomed graduate, but now recording artist. What's your story?
Um, what's my story? Well, where do I even start? I think I'll take it way back to school age, school. I don't know, at school, do you know when you're always just everyone's just always just thing. I always tried to be just the person that never got into trouble, always just followed the rules and just always did what was expected of me and what everybody else kind of wants from me. And I was like, this is good, I'm making everybody happy. But at the same time, I was sacrificing parts of myself, which I didn't realize until later on in my life when I realized that that mindset just really wasn't sustainable. And then I really had to had a little quarter life crisis and had to look at myself and be like, oh my God, what am I even doing? I hate everything that I'm doing right now. I don't want to do this anymore. And no one's do you know what I mean? Because I think when I was at school, I was like, I'll be a doctor, I'll do biomedicine, and then be a heart surgeon or something. Make my parents super proud. And then I was got to university and I realized I really didn't like biomedical science at all. It's one of those things that science is one of those I could always just do, but I enjoyed it, but I don't think I enjoyed it enough to want to make a career out of it. I didn't have any drive. I just don't have any drive in terms when it comes to working in a lab or being a medical doctor or anything like that. It's great and I respect it, but it's really hard work and but I don't know. I think when you're passionate about something, it'll carry itself. Kind of thing. It won't feel like a chore having to do this or do that for it because it's something that you enjoy, and then the result is always better. But now I'm a singer, so I did a 180.
What? Flip the switch?
So I'm really excited. I'm really I've been building my brand. Say I've just started. So I released my first song in March, and then there's more to come, and hopefully an EP soon. But I think during this lockdown, I've been able to really dive deep into my musics and really get a hold of that and really enjoy it. And I'm such a person that likes to work by themselves. I think I like to work by myself, I think. And then I've had so much time to myself, so I've had lots of good working sessions and stuff. So yeah, that's my little self.
I'm going to come back to your singing journey, but what were your kind of experiences growing up black with black parents and their expectations? Was your skin color something you actively noticed or made to be aware of?
Yeah, I think being black, you just have to carry so much stuff. Oh God, so much stuff that your friends, you look at your friends, you didn't have the luxury. I felt an overwhelming pressure from my parents or from mom and dad just to be like be a respectable person in society and do have a respected profession and just be easy to swallow. Do you know what I mean? From everyone and just make myself into something that would not cause just make myself small in terms of just easy to swallow and nothing doesn't really make too much noise, just happy life, happy wife, husband, 2 kids, mortgage, age 25, stuff like that. And I don't know, I think it's just because didn't have the same opportunities. So why didn't they didn't have the same opportunities as we did. So that was hard because like you don't want to like take it for granted of what they didn't have. You want to like work hard because like there's something they didn't have. So it's almost like them living vicariously through you in a sense. So you have to not do well for yourself, but also for your parents as well. Um, and then on top of that, like being black and being like the only black girl in my class at times was just like I don't know, it just does something to your mind. Like I always just felt like I was being watched or people were looking at me and like I always just felt different because I looked and I couldn't relate. I could relate on like basic levels like food, just like basic like food, schoolwork, stuff like that, but like every other level, like social levels, like it was like from two different planets and like the whole time I was like wearing a mask and pretending that or just like being quiet. This is why I think I was so quiet because I just couldn't relate to anyone at all. Um, because my reality seemed completely different to my friends' reality, and all my friends were white. I went to a white school and grew up in white ends. So honestly, it's felt like so. I felt like a stranger in my own land. I'm like, what is this? Like even though I'm born here, bred here, majority of the time, and I think the lack of interaction with people that look like me as well was like really bad. Like I don't think I actually interacted with like a black person as on like a friend basis until I got to secondary school. Yeah, I had never seen another little black girl in primary school
Wow.
or anything else. So like I was just always just the sore thumb out. Like it was really, really quite strange experience. But I didn't really enjoy it either. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really like having to stick out or anything like especially when you're a child, you just want to be like your friends and I think I also became like kind of like the joker in the class as well because of that. I felt like insecure about my blackness and standing out and being different and like my hair is different and like I remember mum used to wash her hair with Pantene. Like she used to wash her hair with black girl shampoo, and then she moved on to Pantene. I was like so happy when she moved to Pantene because I could finally talk about hair stuff with my friends at school. They'll be like, what shampoo do you use? And I'll be like, I use Dark and Lovely. And they'll be like, what's that? And then, and then, and then when mum got the Pantene Pro V, I was like, I actually use Pantene Pro V now, just like you. It's just little things like that.
It's like it's so much more than just racism, isn't it? Like, actually, I've got a definition. Racism's the prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against a person or people on the basis of their membership of a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. So, I guess what you're talking about is kind of antagonism. Do you think it's just racism that's impacted your life, or do you think it's more?
Oh no, the thing is that when I was younger, I just thought that's how the world was. Like when these girls and boys would be mean to me, I was just like, this is just how it is. This is my place in the world. This is my place in society. This is just how it is. I didn't really think two ways about it, and I knew it wasn't fair, and I wanted to feel like all the other girls and boys, but I knew I couldn't because of the color of my skin. Um, Actually, no, I was in primary school, and there was some other black children in primary school, and only my final year of primary school when I moved schools to like a more diverse school, primary school. But yeah, that was my first interaction with black children. But no, definitely at the white school, and like it forms itself in so many different ways. Like when you're younger, racism in the playground can just be like, I don't want to play with you because your skin is looks you don't wash your skin, that's why it's brown. Like
Oh my gosh, remember that one?
that's still racism, but like it's so like it's so like systemic, and like these little kids don't actually know they're being racist. They're just discriminating against me because of the color of my skin and stuff like that. I remember all my friends always thought I was aggressive and stuff, and I was always deemed the one that would like the bodyguard or the protector, and I was like, why am I the protector? Like I was only like 7. I was like, this is not I don't want to be rejected. Like, why do I have to be seen as aggressive and stuff? Like, why do I feel like I was playing a role just like to fit into their stereotypes of me that they didn't even realize that they had because they were so young and they probably just had just seen a black person on TV being portrayed as an aggressive character, and then they put those dates straight onto me because I was the only black person they'd ever met. So it was like all the experiences that they've seen on television of blackness had all been just like filtered into one small black child.
What would you say being a Black British woman means to you now then? And would you say that definition's changed with like age and experience?
Um, I think it's definitely changed. I remember when people didn't even want to say the word black, like it was something to be ashamed of. I remember I used to speak to people and they'll be like, "You're like, um," and I was like, "Black." Like, yes, I am black. My skin is black. My skin is brown, but I am a black woman. And people used to find it so I was almost like they were offending me. And like you think about that, like to call someone what they are, and like you and be scared that it's offensive because people see black as such like a derogatory term. Like that in itself is so weird and so mad. Like I was like, you can't even call me what I am. Like it's not something I'm ashamed of. Like it's literally what I am. It's just like calling a piece of bread a piece of bread. Like I don't understand. I was like, I'm black. Like you don't have to be scared. Like I think it's changed now. Like I used to be like I used to try and hide my blackness any way possible. Try to make myself just fit in small and just so like so people wouldn't see my blackness. So like they just see me as everybody else. That could literally from anything from like denying my culture or just like lying about my heritage or relaxing my hair or oh my gosh, I remember one time I was in the nine and my mummy put these cornrows like on the side of my hair. I told mum to put these like cool cornrows up here on the side of my hair, and all the girls came to me and they're like, "Wow, like you look so ghetto, like oh my god." And I was just like, they came up to me and they're like, the theme for no, they're like the theme for my party for the party I'm going to is a ghetto. So yeah, I was like, would you be able to do these cute things on the side of your hair for me? And I was listening now, kind of like, are you mad? Are you even my like age 13? I was like, so weird. I remember that hairstyle. I loved it so much. But now I think when I got into sixth form, no, I think it all started for me with like my natural hair journey. Because I think I was so fed up of like people telling me that my hair couldn't grow or I couldn't have long hair or like my hair isn't beautiful. And I was so fed up of just like having to go to the salon, pay £30 to have a relaxer to fucking chemical burn my skin and my hair to fall out. And I was like, this is not life. Like, even like when I started like cutting my hair, I got met with so much hate, not only from like, and actually, I hate mainly from black people back when I went to school where they're like, look at your hair, look at your edges, like they're like so like you need to groom yourself, like what, like your edges, like I was like, what are you talking about? Like they're like I have found a lot of comfort in like the online community for natural hair. Um and that's when I like 14 or 15 when I started that. I think that's when I started to like come in almost like a butterfly coming out of the cocoon, like fully coming into myself like that way. Um But then 3 years later, everyone was going out, and I'm like, well, I told y'all about this from the beginning. But yeah, and then at university, I hated university mainly because I hated my course. And since I hated my course, I just didn't want to be there. I didn't really make many friends or anything. And I think people thought I was really like antisocial or just like mean, but I wasn't. I was just so depressed and like I didn't want to be there at all. I didn't know where I wanted to be, but I just didn't want to be there. Um, yeah, so that was weird. But being a black woman in Britain, I think it's any experience of any black woman that lives. I think there's no one way to be a black person, which is what I've realized. If anything I'm doing it, and I'm a black woman, then therefore it's like a something that black women do because I'm a black woman and I'm doing it. So, and I think I've come to like understand like the people, different people need different things, and like you can kind of like tell like what they need depending on their actions, or maybe on their subconscious actions kind of thing. And like I'm definitely more cautious and careful. I'm more sympathetic when I meet another black woman, or like because I'm like if you live in this country, your experiences, you're gonna have like a similar experience to me in terms of racism, or any you're going to have experience racism to some extent. And like I don't think people understand racism is actually so detrimental to your mental well-being, as well as all the other physical effects of racism that can be seen. um and like it's so horrible, like thinking about it, thinking to like the size of it, the sheer extent that like to what it impacts is it's just so horrible. Like I don't know how to fully describe it. Like it just feels like you're just living life through like through like a screen, or like through in that like there's like a glass ceiling to everything that you do, or there's like, and you have to like you just have to, or like you're living life and someone's just pulling you, just keeps on pulling you and pulling you and pulling you, or like you had like you're walking with one leg or something. It's just so I like feel for any black person I see. I don't see when we used to go on holiday and dad used to just like shake hands with any black person he'd meet, and I used to get so angry at him. I'd be like, what the hell are you doing? You don't flipping know them. He's like, no, but he's black. And I was like, and what? I completely get it. I'm going to be doing exactly the same. God damn, invite them down around for dinner. I don't care. I will be exactly the same because, like, I think black people have this shared kind of experience, definitely a super shared experience. Then this is why the outcry over George Floyd's death and like the police brutality in America was felt by so many black people across the world, because the experiences you can literally understand the experience like instantly, like you can just understand it. And like I think being in a school where there's like a lot of Nigerian girls, seeing them like celebrate their blacks, because like they've lived in a culture and a society where being black was the norm, where everyone around them was black, like, and like imagine being in a place where like your teachers are black, the doctors are black, the government is black, everyone in high positions of power is black. Like, do you know what kind of like self-esteem boost that gives you like already? And like being in this country and not seeing any of that, it's kind of like, food child, we're in the ghetto. Like, for real, we are in the ghetto. Goddamn UK, it's a goddamn ghetto. Swear. Like, black people in Britain are broken. Like, so broken. Black people that have been brought up in this country are so broken. Um, and a lot of healing needs to be done, because it's the system breaks you if it doesn't kill you when you're born. It breaks you, and from day one, like forever and ever and ever, like keeps on going up. Like it's just so horrible. Like, cause why do you not see us as human? Like imagine like I was just like imagine like living in a time where you don't have to worry about like you don't have to post petitions, sign petitions, post leaflets, go to protest marches for someone's right to live, for people's right to be treated equally, because this is because people have a problem with the color of our skin. The thing is, like, I was speaking to some people, and like, I'm so sure that like it's an inferiority issue, because black people, if we're given the chance, we like thrive in anything. Look at all like the top professions in the world, or any sports, anything, you will see like black people at the top of it. if you're giving the chance and the opportunity, we literally thrive in it. And like, and then I think that's what people are scared of, kind of thing. And like, they just can't, I don't think people understand our skin color. I don't think people understand that like we are the same despite the color of skin. I think it's like a full like mental block. Like they just can't get over that someone is not like them, doesn't look like them, have the same hair texture as them, has got broader noses, bigger lips, wider hips. Like at the end of it, it all comes down to like physicalities. But yeah. But I think it's like an inferiority thing.
Um, what do you think is the most helpful piece of advice you've received, like regarding navigating race as a black woman in Britain?
That's a helpful piece of advice. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know if I was giving advice, but more so like things that I've learned and like things that I've like tried to, like things I've just learned along the way. I think it's just like you can't fight this fight with like hatefulness or revenge in your heart because it's so easy. Black people, if we could really easily be angry at all of this. We could really, really be the stereotype that they want us to be and be completely angry. Um, but at the end of the day, that's not going to get us anywhere as a people, I don't think. Like, I don't know. I think being patient with white people as well and people of color, um, and being able to argue, not argue, but just like come with facts as well. Because like if you're talking to someone and they're like trying to defend racism, if you come with like facts on facts on facts on facts and stats and figures and like official things that people will actually listen to, then they don't have any legs to stand on because like it's their argument is just air and that doesn't have any make any sense to it. And also just always be just live like I think you in order to like fully accept yourself, you need to like accept you need to accept your blackness, really, and like that's as a part of you. And like blackness is way more than just skin color. Like it's like a whole lived experience, a whole lived experience. So yeah,
So obviously your experiences as a darker skinned black woman in Britain, and I know you were mentioning before like the disparities between even black people when it comes to like racism and things like that. So do you think that your experience has been any different because you are darker skinned?
yes. Oh my gosh, 100%. Like people just love to point out, like I didn't even like because between like you, me, mum, and Liv, when we were younger, I didn't like see any different. Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't. I just knew that we were all brown. I never, I never saw us as being any better or worse or anything. But like, no, 100%. I remember at school when I was young, I didn't want dad to come pick me up from school because he was dark. And I didn't want my friends to see me with a dark skinned man at school. Because I was like, it's embarrassing. Like, why is it embarrassing? Like, he's your father and he's black. Like, he's picking you up from school. Like, how is that? And then afterwards, it made me like, it went from like, I was embarrassed, and then it made me like, yeah, this is my dad and he's black. You should be scared of him. So it's like, it went from one extreme to the other. So, so like, yeah, all the time, like, yeah, I want my dad to come pick me up so I can see little white girls just run and cry. Um, but like, but my own experience with it, I think, funny enough, it's not really white people that see me any differently. White people see all black people as just black. Do you know what I mean? Like you're just black. But as black people have created within like black society and black communities, we create like this hierarchy. And like the lighter you are, the higher up the charts you are. And like, I don't know, some light skinned people just hold it with like a badge of pride or something. Like, haha, yes, I'm genetically blessed. Look at me. And I was like, they hold themselves on like a higher pedestal and like they're like untouchable and stuff. And like, I don't, I never understood that. It made me quite sad. I was at university. Some guy was like to me, "Oh, so what are you, team light skin or team dark skin?" I just looked at him. I was kind of like, "This is honestly not my crowd. This is such internalized racism and hate. Like you're literally hating your own people because they're like a couple shades lighter than you because they have less melanin in their skin. It's just like they've taken that lessons that white people have taught us and then internalized them and then spat them back out on black people, almost like to give them like a type of like power and hierarchy with them, like I'm better than you because I'm lighter than you. So like, my life is worth more than you because I'm lighter than you. And like it's so wrong. It's so wrong. And it's most twisted and messed up thing ever. Like so messed up. And like I don't know. I don't like it at all. And like I think I used to feel so insecure when I was in a crowd. This is another thing where I used to think that black guys wouldn't date me because I was too dark, kind of thing. And I used to think I had to get married to a white guy. I was like, I have to get married to a white guy because black guys don't date me because I'm too dark. And I'm not light enough to them so they can have their nice light skinned babies. So my only option is to date and marry a white guy, which was just like, and it felt like an ultimatum kind of thing. Like I didn't have a choice. And even now, like I still find myself like I used to, if someone was attracted to me, so when I date guys at university and they were lighter than me or mixed race, I'd feel so insecure. I'd be like, you don't actually like me. You can't like me because you're lighter than me. Like, why would you even fancy me? I'm darker than you. Like, it was so much like going on in my mind. I had to like tell it to shut up. I was like, this is just not true. And I was like, that's the fact that like this is even happening. It's almost like, oh my gosh, like I almost felt like I was indebted to them. Kind of like I felt like so small. It makes you feel so small. Um, type of thing. And like I didn't it just wasn't I just never thought it never in my mind, like when I was on Tinder at university, I'd always would just swipe left at the mixed race guys that I'd see or the light skinned guys that I'd see. Cause I'd be like, you won't be attracted to me because you probably only like white girls or light skinned girls. There's no point me even like trying to lay my cards there. So I would just completely swipe left and just be like, forget about that kind of thing. Um, and then like it's almost like these like light skinned guys, they think like, how dare this dark skinned black girl even think she can even talk to me? Like I would even look her way, kind of things. Like you should be glad, you should be like grateful that I'm even glancing in your direction. Oh god, it's so messed. And like this is literally all going on within black people. The colorism is going on within the black community. That, and then on top of that you have racism which is going on from the white community. It's kind of like it makes you feel smaller and smaller and smaller. Not even white communities, like people of color as well, because like people of color are racist towards black people as well, because white people have taught them to be racist towards black people. um yeah, so it makes you feel very, very small.
How do you find yourself like navigating that within the industry that you're now in? Because obviously the music industry has thrived with colorism for years and years and years. So going in as a darker skinned black woman, how do you feel?
Some days, the thing is, sometimes I just like, some days I forget, um, when I'm doing my music that I've got that's something that I have to deal with also in the future. But honestly, like it doesn't really, it doesn't scare me as much as it used to because I see so many successful women in music that look like me. Do you know what I mean? Um, but it still is like a thing that like my music might not be as well received or as well listened to because I'm not light skin. Like people love a good mixed race girl music. I was gonna say that, put that out there. I think with music, I feel like I don't have to conform to any stereotypes I don't want to be. I think it's completely like how I want to put myself out into the world and like I think I don't know and what how I feel the most beautiful and like what I do that makes me feel the most beautiful that I would want to show to people. So it does in some ways kind of like yeah, probably that sucks, but like I don't think I'd want them as listeners anyways, if I'm being honest. If those are the kind of people that listen, I like, if you're really gonna judge me on the color of my skin and not about my musical abilities, then you really shouldn't be listening to music, sir.
It sounds like music has kind of helped you discover a self-love despite all the connotations behind it. So, what would be your three main pieces of advice for like young black girls who might want to go into the same kind of career or are like struggling with colorism? What would you tell your younger self?
Don't try fit in. Honestly and truly, worst decision of my life. Honestly, a terrible, terrible decision from me. Um, because there's so much beauty in like individualism. Do you know what I mean? Like I never wanted to like I never just felt comfortable like thing. If you don't feel comfortable doing something, then don't do it. Like no one is forcing you to do it, and like you'll find so much more self worth and self respect and self love and happiness and joy and like living how like living out the image in your head that you like living being your own dream girl. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't. I love that movie so much, but like you can be the girl or the man or the non-binary person of your dreams. Like you don't have to fit into these boxes because they're not actually there. They're just there to make other people comfortable. So and like sometimes it's like hard because like you feel like you're like the only one and it can be quite lonely at times. But once that passes, once those like dark cloud passes, like I don't know, you'll find so much more self-respect and way more better grounding with your own mind, and it kind of forces you to like look at yourself first, really look at yourself and go through the tears. It's almost like I don't know, ripping off like a band-aid. I don't know. It's like if you want to go into music career in music, um, yeah. If it's I think it's what advice I have anyone going to career in music. I think you should like start young, even if that's just like just singing, getting yourself out there and just singing and like um doing that, just like because it really like the more you do it, the more you grow as an artist, and you become better the more you do it, kind of thing, and like and don't really worry about too many people's opinions of you because at the end of the day, like you're probably never going to see them again. If they don't like you, then that's fine. Not everyone's gonna like you, and so you really have only got anything to lose, really. Like by from putting yourself out there, like you might get a few stingy people being like, oh, they don't like you, but they can unfollow you if they don't want to see it anymore. Like, don't let other people's ideals pressure you into being someone or something that you don't want to be, basically.
So, just to finish, can you tell us where we can find your latest music? What's going on for you in your music career? Where can we find you?
So I am. on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, all the good ones. I just released my first single in March called Close to You. And you can find it under my name, which is R.A.Elle, R.A.E.L.L.E. My Instagram handle is r.a.elle_. And I'm dropping new music next month, finally, because the lockdown is finished. So I'm gonna be dropping that, and then in the upcoming months will be more music to follow, and music videos and stuff. So it's quite exciting. I'm actually really excited about it.
Very excited too.
Thank you.
Stay blessed, stay safe.
You too. Thanks for doing this with me.
Nah, thank you, R.A.elle.